Hey, everybody, welcome to this Board Game Life number 106, titled Gaming Maturity. This is the show about gaming, tabletop gaming, card gaming, any kind of gaming we want to talk about or game. I am one of your fine hosts for today. My name is Rob, and with me, as always, I got my good buddy Mark. Right
Hey,
there. I
what's
think
happening?
you're on my that way.
That looks
Whatever
correct
way. Yeah,
at
whatever
the
way I'm
moment.
pointing.
Once we
Until
publish, it'll probably be the other way.
yeah, it'll be the other way, or it's gonna go like full screen, pip. It's always there to mess with us because every time is like the first time of
Yeah, well,
us recording.
surprisingly, our last episode shocked me because our tool that we use to record our videos, our podcasts, and all the stuff, they jumped in big head on into AI more than they ever had before, and it was like I didn't notice it till after I published it that the video was like, because I have my routine, and then I saw that something had changed, but I was like, oh, it's like automatically doing the cleanup of like the pauses and things like that, where normally you go through the process of doing that. Well, it did that, but it also did this. Well, whoever's talking, I'm going to have them full camera, so it kept
In your
flipping the
face mode.
cameras.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what happened here? And I'm not sure if I like that or not. But
Are we
then
still that way, or is
it is? But I have found through some of my other videos I've done since then that it was like chopping stuff up. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So I was looking through and I found a way to like get my original video. And I did find a really nice way of I can hit one button and it automatically puts our outro and intro and our little logo in the bottom corner. Cause then it also moved the logo up over my camera.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why is this even here? It really kind of, so I've got those things resolved, but now I guess my question to you, Rob, for today, do you prefer the video where it's just us on the screen the whole time?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I prefer, but
I know you get upset when I upstage you, so
exactly,
just like William Shatner.
Hey, you're the beauty, I'm the beast. I want equal airtime.
You want to bask,
yeah,
in the glow and the beauty, yeah,
of
there
Rob,
you go.
yeah,
the handsomeness, yeah.
So
yeah, but just in case we didn't mention, because I don't remember if we did or not, that is my good buddy Mark.
Oh, I think we did. I remember saying, "Hey."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's.
But I'll take two introductions.
Run together. Sure. He is a hand model. There you go. He's got a face for a hand model.
I'm a radio star.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Anyways, let's get to this.
Anyway, let's get rolling, because that's what we're here to do. A show. The shoe must go on. So this episode is called Gaming Maturity. We'll get into that a little bit, as we drop that little teaser. Like, what are they going to talking about? We're going to be talking about, because I know that Rob guy, at least, he's the opposite of maturity after all these years. Right? What are you going to do? But before we get on with that, just want to hit a couple quick things. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, because we've got a ton of great content up there. We've got, first of all, our audio podcast is up there in another way for you to consume. We have videos that are up there, reviews. Mark does these pretty cool mailbags, unboxings, ton of great stuff going back many, 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 many years. And there's spoiler.
Ooh,
there's
another one gonna go up today.
Yeah, it's a what's funny is that I see that box and most people would be like, oh, what's in the box? And I recognize the shape.
You don't know what's in the box.
It's more than likely a game wrapped in that bubble wrap, which is folded over very nicely from all the sides, as opposed to big orders, which come in a big box and they kind of.
It's not crowdfunding, but it's still I'll bet you the box is. I'll bet you this is very close to the size of the game box.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's got
it's
the
going to be
really
very
thin
close
bubble
to that.
wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's the really small bubble wrap, and then there's the thicker, like harder bubble wrap that's more like squiggles. So it's not just like little dots. It's squiggles. It's one of those two. I have seen the future, and I don't think it's peanuts. Just saying.
No, there's no peanuts in this one because I expect it to be the size of another game I've got. I'll put it this way. It's one of recently, I'll give a little teaser to those that, in case you watch this before you see the unboxing video, but there was a reprint of 3 Reiner Knizia games.
Oh yeah.
This will be one of them.
Those boxes didn't look that big.
They're tall.
Iliad was one? Is that the ones you're talking about?
No, it's not one of those. I can show you one of them, but
the one where he wears that goofy outfit, that space costume. Anyway, if you're curious, we built it up now, so you just have to watch the mailbag.
Yep.
That's going to release
tonight.
Yeah.
Same day as this video.
It'll be the next video after this episode here.
Yep. So
make sure to check it out. Like and subscribe.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, there's playthroughs, reviews. Make sure to like and subscribe. We love putting that content out there for you, and we would appreciate it if you just like it, because it helps the algorithm, helps more people find out about the show, and helps our videos get noticed. All right. With that being said, what have you been playing lately?
I got quite a few things in this past 2 weeks, and I got some. This was such a good week. I'm so excited to talk about so many things this week.
What do you mean? Stuff that you've played?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely. So I did play another round of The Gang. So this is a cooperative poker game, and it's interesting. I do like it. I'm not a fan of poker, but this is a really neat twist on
you mean the mechanic with the cards where you have to get like the straights and that kind of stuff?
Well, you have I forgot, we talked about it before. What is it called with the not Let It Ride? I that was like what they called way back in the day in Vegas when I was there, I think. But
Hold'em.
Yeah, Texas Hold'em, I think that's what it is. Yeah. So you have the 2 cards. Everyone gets 2, and then it's like there's 5 more come out that everyone shares. So it's like that, but you're playing it cooperatively, which you like. How could you do that? So it's like a very limited communication. So everyone gets their initial 2 cards. Well, you get the 2 cards, and then no, I think it's just you get 2 cards. So then you have to. And there's these chips, there's these poker chips, but so if you have like 5 players, then there's a poker chip of, there's like, what is it? Yellow, white, red, and orange, something like that. So I think the very first round, the white poker chips are out, and you look at the 2 cards you have, and you take either like the poker chip with the 1 star on it, the 2, all the way up to the however many players you have. So if you have 4 players, there's only 4 chips out. So there's a 1, 2, 3, and a 4-star chip. If you have 5 players or 6 players, then there's going to be 5 and 6 stars. So the stronger that your hand is, you're going to want to take a bigger chip, right? A higher starred chip. So that's how you kind of communicate with everyone else at the table of how you feel about the quality of the hand that you have. So then everyone takes a chip. Now, if you are the last one and you have, say, there's a 1 star and you're like, dude, I got a pair of kings, you can take someone else's chip from them. Like, nope, I'm taking the 5-star chip. I know I've got a good hand to start. You're trying to communicate that your hand is very strong. Now, that doesn't mean the person you took from is going to take the 1. They can take the chip from anyone they want. Maybe that person will take it right back from you, and you're like, okay, they're telling you no. So maybe they got a pair of aces or something. So that's like, okay, I'll take the 4 chip or something. So eventually, once someone takes the last chip from the center, then you draw 3 more cards on the table, and then we put the next set of chips out. So now you're looking at, okay, now what do I have? What's the best 5, and then again you got the, what is it, the river, and then the flop, or whatever they call. So as that's going, you can't say anything about what you have. You're just communicating by taking these little chips and trying to let people know how strength of your hand is. Then to win as a group, you have to be correct. So whoever says I've got the best hand has to end up having the best hand. And whoever says I had the worst has to actually have the worst. And in between, so whatever your stars are, you're looking at, like, hey, who said they had the worst hand? Okay, you flip your cards, and we see then who had 2. You're trying to see, is everyone up to the 5 stars had a better hand, then you win as a group. If you don't, then the house, if you will, the wins. And it's the first. So there's cards showing like the house, and cards that show like the group, and whoever wins, if we lose 3 in a row, then we lose to the house. If we can get 3 before we lose 3, then we actually win the game. So it's really, and that's the base game, right? Then they have cards that come into play. So if you win a round, then you have to flip a card from a deck that's basically going to make the game a little harder by changing the rules. So maybe, like, and I don't know if what I'm saying is even in there, because we only did this once, but it might say something like, well, aces are considered, you can't use aces, or they're considered to be like a 2 or something like that. It'll change the way the cards play. So now it makes it, and it's good. Those cards are designed to make it a little bit harder. If we lose a hand, then there's another deck you can flip the top card over to influence the next round. It's supposed to make it a little bit easier, but it's a way to like change up how the game plays from just your standard poker. So it's quite interesting. It's a shorter game. You can play quite a few people on this. Let's see what it goes up to. I think it's 3 to 6 players. So from Cosmos, and designed by John Cooper and Corey Heath. Art by Fiore Gamba? No, GmbH. I don't know what that is, but I don't know how to even say that.
That's
that's German for like,
yeah,
I've seen that before, but anyways, so that's the game. Really, really fun game. Then I played, I can't remember if I mentioned this last time. I think I did. I mentioned Fresco on our last podcast, Rob.
I know we talked about it, but I think you might have. Well, mention it again.
Well, so Fresco is a game that you gifted to me like 2 years ago, and it has sat on my shelf. And finally, I'm like, I'm going through, I keep a list of what I haven't played, and that was there. And I'm like, I just need to just get this thing played, Well, I have now played it twice. Can't wait to play it again. It's like we played it, and the very next week I took it back again. I'm like, we're playing it again. Fresco is a fantastic game. I absolutely enjoyed it. And this, it's one of those older games, one of those Euro styles. This came out in 2010.
Oh, wow. But 15 years old now.
Yeah. And it is absolutely fantastic. Everyone, like when we got done, because no one else in my group had played this before. And when we were done, everyone's like,
is this a new game?
They're like, we're playing this again. I want to play this again. Everyone loved it. Yeah. And this is just a fantastic, it's a fantastic worker placement, but you're placing workers in the sense of you got this like hidden shield, and you got this little board, and you're committing ahead of time where your workers are going to go, which actions that you want to do on the board, and how many times you start with what I think 5 workers, and you can get an extra one, but there's like multiple options on the board. So it's like, you could do every action once if you put a worker in every spot. But as the game goes on, there's going to be times you don't want to do certain things. You may not want to blend paints because you need to buy paints. So you're trying to put people there to go to the market to get as many paint tiles as you can. But you also got to consider
colors, right?
You're buying colors. But then you have this whole the way that whoever's the first player constantly changes, or can constantly change. So if you're not the first player to go, right? Yeah, it's when you wake up. So you're deciding whoever's lowest in the points they get to pick when they go in the next round. But the earlier you go, the more the paint costs, the further you go down on this track to get your extra workers. So you might lose. If you go down far enough, you'll even lose another one. Like you could, from your original 5, you'll be down to 4, which hurts you. So you're trying to manage when you can go. And then if you go too soon, you get the option. You might see I got to get to this market. There's paint samples that I want. But if you go too early, then it's going to cost you a lot more, and it might limit how many paint tiles you can buy. But if you go later, someone else might jump ahead of you and get what you want. So you are trying to manage the paint market and how many workers you commit to that. So everyone sets their order, then they set behind the screen of where they're going to go. And you have no idea what other people are going to do. So you're like, okay, I know I'm first at every action. Okay, so, or I'm going to be second. And then you're trying to, okay, so this person's going to be first. I kind of know what they might be going for. Okay, I'll put 1 or 2 people there, or maybe I'll skip this action this turn, or, and so everyone puts their stuff, and then you reveal what everyone's doing. And everyone, that right there is a really cool part of the game, because you're just like, oh, you're not going to the, if I'm second in line and I see the person that's first is not going to go to the portraits, then that means if I'm second and I'm put someone to go to the portrait gallery, that means I get first pick. And then it's yes, so you get that little victory of I'm going to get what I want there. But okay, then it's well, yeah, but I'm going second in the paint market. What are they going to take? So, and it kind of goes around for all the different spots. And it's just a fantastic game. I'm this is so much fun. So thank you, Rob.
Oh, you're welcome. Rob,
for, I was kind of, I know when I joined this hobby, I was like, oh, your games are crap and everything you recommend's crap. And yeah, no, that's not the case. No, it's not. Fresco is muy fantástico.
Yeah.
So,
and I love the look of the game too. It just, I don't know, it's so vibrant. You know what I mean? It's just so colorful and bright.
Yeah, for a 15-year-old Euro, it is.
Yeah, that's like you were saying the other day. It's not shades of brown.
Oh, I'll get to that one in a minute.
15 shades of brown.
Yep. That game's coming up. So there's a lot of tan in the Fresco board, but you've got your yellow, red, green, blue, orange, purple cubes, which gives you color. And then the fresco that's being painted, as you pull those gray tiles off the middle, you're seeing this very colorful painting. And yeah, it's a really nice looking game, and it is a lot of fun. So that's Fresco. If you have not played this game, go get it, go play it, check it out. It is fantastic.
And just to add, I want to say it's done by the same guy that who made Alhambra?
Well, it is by Queen Games, and it was designed by Wolfgang Panning, Marco Ruskowski, and Marcel Cibulbeck. I don't know
Yeah, I know.
You said I thought you said Alhambra. That was Dirk Hahn, I think, who did.
Maybe he collaborated on it.
So.
But, yeah, good stuff.
Yes,
good stuff.
Yeah, Wolfgang Panning is contributed to Alhambra as well.
Okay.
So correct. All righty. So the next game on my list is, so this is like probably one of the oldest games I've ever played, even though it came out in 2025. The reprint did. I played some more Dyer's Lice. Liar's Dice.
You don't even know what's going on anymore.
Dyer's Lice, yeah.
Yeah.
Liar's Dice. This is a reprint from 25th Century Games. I played this. I got to play this one a couple of times. This was one that when I bought it, I really wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but it was kind of in another one of those packs of games that I got with 25th Century Project crowdfunding thing. And oh no, actually, I think I picked this up at Gen Con.
Isn't Liar's Dice like an ancient game?
Very old game under very many different names.
Like, I think of like if they, reprinted Chinese checkers or something along those lines. That's how old it is.
This so when you go to the page, it lists 1800 is when this game was originated. Yeah. It's a public domain game. But
before Barnes and Noble actually started selling real games, they sold Liar's Dice and the Mexican dominoes and checkers and
so this has been known as Bluff or Puerto or Dudo. Those are some other names. But some of the people I played with this last week, we played this, and they're like, oh yeah, I've played this, but this is it's different than what some of the others in the group have played before. And this game, everyone really liked the way this one has been tweaked, at least compared to other things. So I don't know. I've never played Liar's Dice, so I don't know how it compares to others. But the feedback I got was that it was a little different, and they really liked this implementation of it. It kind of gave more variety to the game, because instead of there being a 1 on the dice, it's numbered 2 to 6, but the number 1 is like a ship's wheel, and that is a wild. So you have the ability to, say, I think there's 12 sixes, you place at 10 players and everybody has 5 dice. So that's 50 dice, right? Did I do that right? Yeah, that's 50 dice. No, that can't be right. 2 to 10 players. There's not that many dice in the game. There's enough to play. There's enough dice in there to play 6. Maybe if you play 10 players, maybe you get fewer dice. Maybe everyone gets fewer dice. But so the total amount of dice in the game is 30. And so you're basically and you're going on the board. So whoever goes first says, I'm going to say that, that there's this many 6s that on the board, right? They got their rolled on their little hidden cup. Everybody's looking at their dice secretly, and this is what I'm saying is out there. So they say 6 6s or something. So the next person has to either up it by going higher, guessing there's a higher amount of things, or they challenge the person. Now, the thing with the 6s is at the very beginning, there's very likely it could be 6 6s because there's 30 dice out there, plus any of the wilds will count towards whatever number is said. So if the person challenged and we all pull our cups up and we see how many 6s and wilds are, then it's like whoever, if there is 6 or more, then the challenge fails and the person that made the challenge loses whatever the difference is of dice from what the person said to what there was. So if there was, say, 8 6s, the person that challenged would lose 2 dice out of their. So the dice are getting smaller and smaller as you keep going around. But if they don't want to challenge, they can say, okay, well, I'm going to say there's 7 6s, or, there's this little board that, they keep moving the dice around to make their claims. And as the dice get fewer and fewer, then obviously it gets really tough near the end when there's 2 people left and you're just like, okay, we each have 2 dice. You get to that point of like, I either got to guess and make them challenge and hopefully they're wrong, or I've got to challenge and hope I'm right. So it's fun. It's a quick game, very easy to learn, great ender or great starter to a game night. So it's Liar's Dice from 25th Century Games. I also got to play Raw. I did get my my reprint copy in from, again, 25th Century Games. This is with the acrylic tiles. And I really am happy with the acrylic tiles. I mean, the bag is still huge, like you get with the wooden, but the tiles are a lot thinner. But
Heavier
probably
too,
heavier
probably. Yeah.
because there's a ton of tiles in this bag. But it Raw is it's great. If you haven't played Raw, this is a must-have, must be in your collection. You must play it. It is muy fantastico, and yes, that is a must-have. All right. I played some more Don't Llama. It's a great little card game. I played some more Shadow Hunters, which is a great social deduction type of game. Very, very good game. Wish this one was available in print. Again, if any publishers are out there and listening, get the rights to reprint this because it's $200 to $300 in the on the black market, as I like to call it, because they're robbing you blind. To try to get this game, it's really, really expensive, and it's such a good game. We need a reprint of this 25th Century because they do an awesome job on their games. So that was Shadow Hunters. All right, next. All right, here we're getting into it. The rest of this list, with the exception of one, is absolutely fantastic.
I wonder which.
Okay. This next game is absolutely fantastic. And this game is why crowdfunding kills me. So I got to play, someone brought in a copy of Spooktacular, which is a brand new game. I remember seeing it on crowdfunding. I passed on it because I'm like, oh, it's a horror game. I don't like these. Well, this game is phenomenal. I absolutely fell in love with this game. And it supposedly came out today, the 30th. Well, the company that sells it was already completely sold out. I can't find it anywhere on any of my online sites. I called my friendly local gaming store and they didn't have it. I called Barnes and Noble because I'm like, they will likely have this. This is something that would fit into what they sell, because they sell a ton of stuff. At least my store does. They have a ton of board games. I called them like, did you get this? And they're like, no, we don't have that. And it's like, why can't they just mass produce this stuff?
They do.
So, not enough
quantities.
It comes out today and no store has it. Target, I looked at the Target app, they don't have it. I didn't look up Walmart, but I ended up.
They're not gonna have it. Yeah.
I just ended up ordering it from the store. I'm like, they claim they're going to have more copies, so I ended up going through to Level 99 Games and just like back ordering a copy.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm sitting here waiting, and it's like, I want to play this game again. So, what Spooktacular is, it's probably one of the best asymmetrical games that I have played. It is not a hard game, and it's there's like 20 different monsters in this game. And the first thing that I thought was so cool about this right off the gate is this game is basically taking place in a movie theater. And you play as a monster from a monster movie that comes out of the screen and is attacking all the patrons in the theater, right? And there's all these different rooms to chase them. And so everyone's playing as a different monster. And your monster card, your player card on one side is this like really cheeky movie poster that's done so well. It looks so good. And it makes you like, when you read them, you're laughing. They're just really good. The other side is your player board, and it tells you exactly how to play the character. And even the more difficult characters are not hard to play. It tells you exactly do this, 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 and this on your turn. And it was so neat because like I had the ability with my character that I could, when I was in a room, depending on the people that I had devoured. So when you devour a guest, you put them into like on your player board. And then like I had an ability of, if I had devoured a red person, then I could like do another move. If it was a green one, I think there's 5 colors in the game. If I had the purple one, there was things like I could pull someone into my room. So I had abilities like pull another player into my room if they were adjacent, and then steal a point from them. So they went down, I went up a point. And or I could do that if I went into a room where I did it one time where there was like 3 other players. The rest of them were in another room. I went in, used that ability, and took 3 people down a point, and I went up 3 points. But there's another guy. It's like he can put doors on the outside of the place, and then when someone would like go in and spook the people, then they would like run in fear, and one of them will go out that outside door. Well, then that automatically is devoured by this other player, so you're helping them if you're going in there and spooking someone where one of his doors are at. So it was just really cool. We had like someone was playing as the Blob, and they had like 8 of their pieces, so they could go all over the place, and then they could hurt, or get benefits off of other players in the same area. So there's like all this like strategy of how are you going to play, and kind of put your pieces out there. And there was another guy he played as like, which if you saw the Stephen King movie Christine, he was playing as the car that was the killer car, things like that. So there's 20 different monsters. They all play different, and it's not one of those asymmetrical games. It's like Root is one, everybody plays different, but that's a game that's really tough to teach other people. Your abilities and your characters are much more involved. This is a much lighter game that it's very easy because only one person had played this, and I'm dumb when it comes to board games. I didn't like once he explained the basics. Thanks, Rob. I was able to like, I do this. I go boom, 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 boom. I had like 4 steps. This is what I do. It was so simple. And when someone else would have a question, he would look at their thing and it's like, oh yeah, this. And it was like, boom. It's like, that was easy. So the next time they knew exactly what they were supposed to do. It was like the easiest to teach asymmetrical game. So, and it's like, and it kills me because I skipped the crowdfunding and now I want this game and I can't get my hands on it. So I'm hoping they get more
crowdfunding. That's why you never skip the crowdfunding and you back everything.
Yeah. Well, I've got one that's sitting here that ends in 68 hours. And I will make my determination by the time we end this podcast because we're going to talk about this later. But Spooktacular from Level 99 Games, awesome, awesome game. I can't wait to get my own copy. And what sucks too is that the guy that brought it lives in Brazil. And he was here for a while, and then he just went back, and he won't be back for a year. And he took his game with him.
Yeah, he took it.
I was thinking about mugging him in the parking lot, knocking him over the head, and taking his game. So it's not like no one else has
TSA
this.
must have taken it.
Yeah,
Duh.
like I can't get this. I can't call the guy and say, "Hey, come on, bring it to game night," because I won't see him for a year. So, but
I was just looking online, and the printing is on its way. Supposedly it's gonna land in the port on October 4th. So this week, next week, then it's got to clear customs, and so hopefully soon.
Well, as long as the company gets them for the company store and can ship them out.
Yeah.
So
as long as they don't wind up at Bed Bath & Beyond first.
Yeah. So, but I did place my back order, so I would imagine I will probably get it eventually. But fantastic game. I walked out. It was one of those games like when you walk out of game night, you're just like, man, I want this. I need this. I got to get a copy. And you start searching like when and how, and
foaming at the mouth.
Yes. So
like a junkie.
All right.
Game junkie. And what's funny is I've seen this game over and over. I mean, not in person or anything, but I've seen stuff on it online. I had no interest in it, like zero interest. Spooktacular.
I had zero interest as well.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and now that you talked it up, that's got me a little riled up. Thanks.
It's fantastic. It's so fun. It's a lighter game, but I want to go now and play as all these other different characters and just try these different things. And it's just like, it's not a long game. I think we played in an hour, maybe a little more than an hour. And that was everybody learning. I'm going to look it up and see what was it, how long did it take? But the thing is, this is the type of game that's going to be easy to get to the table, more frequently, hour and 20 minutes. And we had 5 people playing, and 4 of us were learning the game. And we played an hour and 20. So, 5 people, the same 5 people playing again, we'd probably be at about an hour. So, even with different characters, because now that we understand the game, which really isn't hard there's really some basic things you do. Everyone's got, and you have cards in your hand, and everyone starts with basically the same cards. Everyone's doing the same thing in the game, but you go about it a little differently. You have abilities that will add different ways of how you play that character, and it's not hard. So this is something that's I could take and be like, boom, I can get this in with other games on a game night. Where if I go something like Root, that's probably going to be the whole night, one game, and you're going to spend an hour trying to teach someone how to play. And then you have to know that character. You have to know it. So this one, like, you don't necessarily have to know it. As long as you've maybe played it once, you could look at some of the card and go, oh, I understand what they're saying here, and explain it to someone new. It's just, yeah. So anyways, enough of that. On to my next big excitement. So my next one is one of those ugly brown Euros that Rob just loves, and that Rob convinced me and twisted my arm and made me spend lots and lots of money to crowdfund, because like he said, you got to back everything. Yes. To crowdfund a reprint with the super special edition from Awakened Realms in all its glory. So I spent a lot of money for Puerto Rico and had never played it. And I had the opportunity this week to play Puerto Rico. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait to get my copy now. This game was fantastic. I was like, oh, how have I not played this? But
because it's not the new hotness.
It's not. And that's such a we'll talk about that later.
And I want to say this was the number one game on BGG for a while before I think Twilight Struggle bumped it.
Well,
a while ago.
This game came out in 2002. And right now its overall rank on all of BGG is 52. That, in my opinion, is incredibly high for out of what the probably tens of thousands of games they've got listed out there. It's 52, and it's 23 years old. So I absolutely enjoyed this game. I was very pleased with it. I am, you're trying to ship goods and get these ships loaded with the goods that you're trying to gather, but you have all these limitations. You're getting these buildings and getting like growing crops, if you will, like coffee beans or tobacco or corn. And then you got to have a building to manufacture some of this stuff. Or I think sugar was another one. And it was just like, when we first started, I was like, I don't know about this. By the time it was over, I was like, holy crap, this was fun. And you going around the table of who gets to pick what role they're going to do. And it's like, yeah, I want to be the trader this time. Please don't take it. It's like someone else takes it right in front of you. And you're like, now I got to do some other move on this round. And it's just so cool. The way the mechanic works and that excitement of like, okay, I know what I want, but then everyone else can probably have an idea too. Like, okay, he needs to ship. He's got a bunch of stuff ready. Maybe someone else will take it to ship first, so they can put their goods on the ships and maybe hose you so that I can't put anything out, which did happen in our game a couple times. It's like, okay, I'm going to ship just to make sure no one else can put stuff on the ships. And so it has a little bit of meanness in a way, but it's not an overly mean game. But yeah, Puerto Rico, I cannot wait to get my Awakened Realms overly produced copy. All right. Then
San Juan.
Oh yeah, and I haven't played San Juan, but that is also coming in there, so I will have
really
that.
Good. It's a fun card game. Yeah.
So we talked earlier, Rob, about the 15 Shades of Brown Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the game Le Havre. This is, was it Le Havre?
Yep.
Or wait, oh no, maybe that was Puerto Rico. No, that wasn't Puerto Rico. It was Le Havre, I think. That
Well,
had no. It
no,
it was Puerto Rico. I got to go back. It was
yeah.
Puerto Rico because in the original game that we were playing, or the version that we had, you you couldn't tell that. So you had sugar, which was white, and then you had something that was blue, some kind of flour. And then there was corn was yellow, but then there was like coffee and tobacco, which were like different shades of brown. I thought there was another one because I remember making a comment, do you want a light brown, medium brown, dark brown, or brown brown? Which brown
Brown.
cube do you want?
You want the brownish brown, the lightish brownish, darkish brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because Le Havre it's got the whole maritime thing. And
yeah.
I think that one's more colorful.
There's still a lot of tan, a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
brown in it, but
that's
I
fair
mean the
enough.
board and the
Yeah.
tiles, but yeah, I was thinking the wrong one. Yeah,
I think
it was Puerto Rico that.
I think in the 2000s that must have been the cheap color to buy at the printers. It was on
Must
sale
be.
all the time. We have so much brown, we'll cut you a deal if you make your entire game brown, tan, or beige.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyways, so Le Havre is another game that I have never played, and another fantastic game. This is really
Uwe.
good.
Yeah.
And what I found about this, like, super simple game to pick up, like to
But it's a big game.
But it is.
There's
there's a lot more under the surface. Like, there's a lot of, like, you got to think ahead and plan and try to figure out what you're going to do. And I think the most frustrating thing for me with this game was freaking feeding your people at the end of the round. And with 3 people, no, we had 4 people, you only got like 2 turns per round. So like one of them, like, you have to be getting food because you have to feed your people. So it made it really tough to get started to like get things built. And I was falling behind. Like, I remember at one point I was like, I feel like I just can't get ahead of this food problem that I have. Well, finally I did get a ship that gave me automatic food at the end of a round. So it helped, but then as you're going up higher in the rounds, you need more and more food. And then it's like, oh, I need maybe another ship, or I'm trying to take big piles of food, or I gotta have a butcher shop to get all my cows converted over to meat. And it was such a fun game. And it was like that whole kind of frustration of like, I gotta feed more freaking people. Like, can't I just let them die? It's like,
no,
you can't. But this is a really fun game, and I'm like, I enjoyed this. I really do like this game. So another Euro that I think, isn't this one a Uwe game?
Yeah, Uwe Rosenberg.
Yeah. Yep. And
one of his classics.
It's a fantastic game. So it's been interesting to be introduced and be able to play some of these classics that I'm just like, I always remember thinking, every time you'd pull a game out, Rob, it's always this Euro stuff. And I'm just like, and I'm looking at the board, and I'm like looking at the same artwork and the same color on every box art. And I'm just like, okay, in the 1700s, you are a blah, 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 and you're doing blah, blah. Like, who cares?
And then you do this. Ordered.
Yes, yeah.
It's arriving tomorrow.
Don't make fun of me.
I am not.
But I
appreciate that.
I will say I would like to find a copy of Le Havre.
I get it. So, Awakened Realms needs to make like a $450 reprint.
They probably
special
will.
edition. Yeah.
So, all right. So my next game that I'm almost done, This thing is muy fantástico. It's a newer game, 2022. This game came from Renegade Game Studios, and it's my father's work. And this was so good. I was watching the playthrough and like trying to learn how to play, and I'm just like, man, it didn't really. I don't know, something about it. Sometimes I can get kind of excited by watching how to play,
Sure.
or even watching other people. So I'll do like how to plays, and then I also like to watch people do a playthrough because a lot of times, they'll do here's how to play, and then you're like, okay, I get some of that, or it doesn't click. But then when I'm watching, the second thing is to watch a playthrough of the game, then oh, okay, this is starting to make a little sense. Well, this is a huge game, many hours worth of play, um, to play the entire thing. So uh, I went there knowing very little and came out of it like, we've got to play this again. This was awesome.
Oh,
So you are
nice.
basically, it's called My Father's Work. Kind of think about like you're a mad scientist, like, Dr. Frankenstein, right? Kind of back in those days. And you are a scientist, and the townspeople don't, you might have send Igor out to get a body from cemetery to help with your experiments and things. So, but it's called My Father's Work because you're the original person that you start out with has a master plan, a master work that they want to complete. It's an experiment, and the thing is, you will never complete it in your generation. So you will not be able to complete that. You're going to go through 3 rounds, and then basically you die, and everything you had goes away, with the exception of any kind of knowledge that you were able to save to pass down to record some knowledge on your experiments that will go be passed down to the next generation, or some experiments that you complete, you can have the ability to store one of them. And then you go and you basically start over. You lose your resources, you lose your money, stuff like that. But then you go to the second generation. So that basically your children are going to carry on your work. They're going to try to complete your master work, and you're going to again go through 3 rounds. And by the end of that person will die, and you're still trying to record as much knowledge and get some certain experiments done, because those will help you complete that master work if you can get it done. And I did not complete my master work. If we had one more, I was one one knowledge cube away from completing it, and on the final turn, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get that final thing to. But it was really just this awesome game of a worker placement where you're putting people. There's limits on who can go to town and who can't go to town. Sometimes if you go to a town, or if I'm using certain people around my estate to do, like if I use my butlers to do an experiment, they get freaked out and I lose them. So then I have to gain them back later in the next generation. So you're trying to manage your experiments to gain knowledge, to have all the resources you need to do the experiments. You have to have there's certain levels, there's A, B's, and C's. And like to do your master work, you're going to need a 1A, 2B's, and 3C experiments. So the A's are very easy to complete. We'll give you some knowledge. The B's are a little harder. They're going to require more resources. And obviously your master work is, you have to have all those other experiments done and then all the resources to be able to do that final one. So it's, you may not get it done. I think everyone else did, except, oh no, one of the other guys didn't either. It was on his final turn as well, and he needed the same thing I did. He needed one more knowledge cube, and neither one of us got it on our last turn. So, but it was just oh my goodness, this was a fantastic game. And the cool thing about it is there's like these modules, like a story module that you pick out. So one of the players with this picked out, let's play this one. So you open that box and you pull all the stuff out that goes into the game, and then there's others that, like when we play again, it'll be a different module that we'll pull out and we'll play in this game. So I can't wait to play it again, and absolutely loved My Father's Work. And again, another one that I did not expect to really like. So, but this is my group pushing me into bigger games and
They're
older
molding
Euros.
you.
All right. Okay, next. I'm almost done. Dwellings of Eldervale. I played this just last night, as a matter of fact. And this was another one. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but this was really, really fun. Great worker placement game. And it was a lot of fun. Somehow I pulled out a win. I don't know, as a luck, I guess beginner's luck, because I didn't think I was doing very good. I was struggling understanding some of the concepts of how to play. This was one that was like, I kept just messing up, and they're like, you can't go there. And I'm like playing my workers down in front of me, and they're like, no, that's when you pull them back, then you put them into your tableau. You have to put them out on the board into Eldervale. And I was like, and then you're like, oh, well, you have to go adjacent to another place unless you got a dragon, which you have to get resources and get them out. And so you're trying to get these certain workers out. You're working to get the resources and the ability to get them out. You want to build dwellings in the town. And others had 3 or 4 dwellings. I had 1. I had lucked out by just some of the cards I played were getting me points. So that's the only thing that saved me in that, because I only ended up with like 1 dwelling. And I was like, every time I wanted to do it, a monster would come in and kill me off. I'm like, no, now I need to be there to build my dwelling. So it was a lot of fun. This is a fantastic game. Again, this is one of those, it's like, okay, I want this game, but it's expensive. And it's like, I already know someone that has
That
it.
never stopped you before.
Yeah, but times are changing, my friend.
That's the old Mark.
That's the child Mark. I'm trying to mature into the older, wiser Mark. So, but Dwellings of Eldervale is really good. And now my understanding is that, what is it? There's a new one. Luke Laurie also did it. It's his newest one. It's very popular. What's that new one? Andromeda's Edge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I understand that is like similar, and I might be picking this one up because I know my game store has this, and I'll be there tomorrow for game nights. I might just walk out with this one.
Yeah. You also
which might be tough because it's going to be expensive, because of course they've got the box that's even bigger than the game of all the deluxe components.
Yes.
I got to buy both.
Duh.
So I might be at, tomorrow's mailbag might just be like, look what I got from the store.
Technically, that's not mail.
Yeah, it's still something new into the household. Yeah. So, but
you mail it to yourself.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I just shaved on. I just went and picked it up to save on shipping. That's all.
Yeah, like SN pickup.
Exactly.
Or Gen Con pickup. There you go.
Exactly. So Dwellings of Eldervale, absolutely a really fantastic game. And
Luke Laurie also did one of the Manhattan projects.
I have that one, Energy Empire.
I think the second one. That was the second one, right?
He did Energy Empire. So there's Manhattan Project OG. 2 Minute to Midnight.
Okay. Yeah.
Then he did Energy Empire with. So
it's a third one.
With the guy that's in my game group.
Okay. Yep.
So Tom Jolly is one of my game group fellows.
Very cool.
Top. So he actually signed my copy of Energy Empire.
Nice.
And he was the one I first played with. He taught me. And I will say this, he kicked our butts. You don't want to play a game with a designer, especially when it's their game.
And they're not holding back.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Dwellings but the box is huge, man. It's like Gloomhaven size. So,
yeah.
All right. And then the last thing, so be brief, Unlock game adventures. So I'd
Okay.
never played an unlock game, and we ran through one last night after we finished playing Dwellings. We did one of it was in the game adventures box, so we
Okay.
did the Ticket to Ride game. I not sure where I've never done a escape room type of board game, and I guess that's what this is considered.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't really a fan.
It's a different experience. You know.
I think it'd be fine for like 2 players, but we had 4 of us, and it's like you're looking at the cards and you're kind of passing the cards around, or someone will be like, "Oh, it's right here." Like soon the first person to get it might look at the card. "Oh, here, pull this." They were just pulling cards on me. I'm sitting there like, I don't know what's going on. A couple of times I did get to go, well, what, point something out, and it was like, "Oh, look at that." So I was able to.
No, a couple of times you go, "Hey, you guys want some drinks?"
Yeah, that was most of the time. That's what I felt like. Can I get anyone refreshment?
You want some popcorn? I'll make it.
So
I know how to use a microwave. Yeah,
it was different, but it's not anything that I'm like, I definitely don't need these.
No, and the thing is, when you play those with some people, I mean, not that this is bad or anything, but you can definitely get the alpha gamer personality in there. That's like, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this, and you're like, you're just going so fast. I'm not even like connecting what you're saying.
Yeah, that and all the other 3 people I played with have all done these before.
Yeah,
they hadn't done this particular one, but I was like, this is my first time, and it was like they were just like, oh, psh, 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 psh. I was like, I think we were halfway through the game before I was like, what are you even looking at? Like,
yeah.
So
have you ever done an escape room?
No, I had the chance here recently with the same group of people actually to go do a real one, and something came up that night and I couldn't go. I don't remember what it was, but it was, yeah, I couldn't. I ended up not being able to make it, so I would like to go do one with them, but again, I have a feeling like I would just be kind of standing there watching them do it. It's just so. Well, that's what when they invited me, I was like, "Are you sure you want me there?" I'm like, "What am I going to do?"
I'll slow you down.
They were like, "You can hold stuff for us." I'm like, "Okay, yes.
You can hold
as long as I
coats.
feel I need." Yeah. So
I'll call you the coat hook from now on.
There you go. So that's it. That's all.
That's very cool. That's a nice list, and it's cool that you tried an unlock game. I've played 2 of them. They're okay, and actually, I did them solo.
I think
what you can do.
I would probably like it that way better, or with one other person, because some of those I was like, I don't know, I don't understand how they're getting that. I would have never figured it out. So I think it would be nice to have a second person, but I think more than that, especially if you're just looking at a card or 2 cards, then
you get stuck.
You get too many people. It's like you can't all see the card, and
yeah,
I was actually picking it up when they were all done. I would pick it up and I turn the light on my phone. I put a little more light on it. Like, am I seeing anything secret? So, but
yeah, you got your magnifying glass, your microscope.
Yeah,
to be
with
able
the camera
to
on, zooming it.
yeah.
So,
got the flashlight.
Yep.
Just like my gaming flashlight here. Sort of.
Exactly.
Not really. But all right, cool. So that was a really nice list that you had there. Especially, it's cool that you got some older stuff to the table. And more importantly, you're enjoying pretty much all of it. All right. So before we get on with the news real quick, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can contact us. You can email us at contact@thisboardgamelife.com. Make a comment on any of our videos on YouTube or our BGG Guild, or whenever we post episodes up on BGG. That's a ton of places you can reach out to us. So let's hit the news real quick. Did you take your thing out?
I moved it to the bottom. I've been talking for too long.
Okay. So we'll kind of go through the news fairly quickly. A couple things that happened in the past 2 weeks of note, at least that I thought was interesting, and why not? That's what matters. But GAMA, right? The Illustrious Game Manufacturers Association, that does all sorts of board game related, industry related, retailer related stuff. for many, many years, they renamed themselves. Instead of the Game Manufacturers Association, aka GAMA, they are now going to be known GAMA, the Tabletop Game Association. How about that?
Okay.
So,
Big
or
change.
technically, is that Game Manufacturers Association the Tabletop Game Association? Does it double up like that? I don't know. But supposedly they made this change just because the majority of the folks and the businesses that are involved in Gamma, as of late, are basically just doing tabletop stuff. And they haven't really been doing things like arcade machines, pinball, etc. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if anything else changes, right? Because they have some conventions and lots of stuff, a lot of involvement. Next up, so I thought you'd get a kick out of this one, Mark. So Thomas Holek is a name. Oh, you perked up there. Look at that. Yeah, Thomas Holek. He made some pretty cool games. Tea Garden, Galileo, and SETI, right?
SETI,
Those are the
Galileo,
three.
Galilei, and Tea Garden.
Yeah, those are the three big ones. Well, he's got a fourth one called Aquaria. And Capstone Games is going to be bringing us some Aquaria goodness. So this is an aquarium building game, not machine. And you and I have both had aquariums in the past. You did fresh, I did saltwater. So, we have a little bit of experience in that. And we also have experience in taking down freshwater and saltwater aquariums. But that's a whole different story. But this looks like it's going to be an interesting game where people are going to be building the most impressive aquarium to show their skill in creating marine environments. So this is a interesting take. I don't know if we've had an aquarium game before, but maybe this is going to be the start of something new. So this game is going to be playing in 60 to 120 minutes, which I did not expect. For some reason, I expected it to be a family game, just based on the topic and so forth. And it's going to retail for $75 US. And it's going to be 1 to 4 players as well. So
I just need to know, can I buy it now?
You probably could.
I can pre-order from Capstone Games website.
Yeah, it's going to be shipping in November. So that's coming up pretty soon, right? 2 months.
Pre-order now. I'm buying it.
Yes, there you go.
It's like I said before. Tomas Holek is that designer that I until he does me wrong, I'm buying anything he puts out.
So
his other 3 games are fantastic.
So he is in Insta-buy territory.
He is in Insta-buy, yep.
Insta-buy, Insta-back. Okay, next up, Hachette Games. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. They announced a bunch of Edition Spielweise games that are coming to a store near you. First up, Micro Macro. Have you seen this game?
Macro, yeah.
Yeah. That's a game that I can't play. Unless I have some like binoculars strapped to my head, I can't play that game. Everything's too small. That's just me. But other people can enjoy it. And they're coming out with a puzzle in the micro macro line. The home game, I think, is the name of it. It's a soccer match revealed through a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle measuring 68 by 48 centimeters. So that's a good size. That's like, what, 2 feet by like a little bit over a foot and a half. And the image for the puzzle is taken from the Micro Macro Crime City map. So there's 50 hidden objects in there and all that other good stuff. It's got a street price of $25. Look for that coming out soon. And then let me see what else did they have here. Snake Charmers, a social deduction game. And I think that was it. Just those two. Yeah, Snake Charmers and Micro Macro Jigsaw, the home game. Steamforged Games is coming out with Terra Mystica Special Edition. This is have you ever played Terra Mystica?
No, I have not.
No? Okay, don't. Stay away. Because you'll be buying this then. But Terra Mystica has been out for some time, probably like over 10 years. It had its debut in 2012. So 13 years ago. And Steamforged is coming out with a new edition. I don't think that they've announced a street date for this thing to come out. And when I say come out, I mean coming to GameFound. So this thing is going to be a little ways out, but you can expect probably the same goodness that a lot of these companies use when they put their games out on GameFound. GameFound to me is the place with the incredible quality. It must be like a requirement for anything that goes to GameFound. I feel has to have amazing artwork and an amazing campaign page. It's like if you don't have any of that, they make you go to Kickstarter or something. Okay. Got two more things real quick. So you remember Tiny Tina, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from Borderlands.
Yep.
So Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the Chaos Chamber card game is out, and it's got an MSRP of $30. I figured I would just throw this in here because you and I both have enjoyed Borderlands. I enjoyed Borderlands 1 and 2. 3, 4 is out now. I am really curious, but I have not bit. But it does look really good. And Upper Deck created this game. So Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the Chaos Chamber. If you're interested in a Borderlands themed game, this might be a good one to give a shot. It's supposedly getting decent ratings. And lastly, Asmodee revealed some research from a study that they did regarding board games. And there's a couple of pretty cool statistics. This is something that they conducted in the UK, the US, France, and Sweden, and it was done this summer in July. The study found that over 25% of people in the surveyed group played board games at least once a week. So that's a pretty fair amount. I really wonder where they did it, where they did this. Let's see. The study was done by Census Wide, and it was just 8,001 consumers from the general public. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they went like to the UK Games Expo or something like that, some convention and did it there. So this is the general public then. So a quarter of the general public that was surveyed here played games at least once a week. It also found 64% of the participants turned to games to bring their families together. Isn't that awesome? My son apparently doesn't want to be brought together. Yeah. Or your kids. Kicking and screaming the entire time.
Yep.
53% seek out board games as a form of escapism for overwhelming news. Okay. I could see that. And in the US, the number of participants using board games as escapism was higher at 65%. So that's some interesting specs. Millennials, who included people between ages of 29 and 44, were also noted as particularly tabletop gaming fans that play tabletop games as frequently as they watch or read the news. And also, I think this is the last one here. 41% of the millennial group experienced joy during gameplay. So that means that they must have won or they weren't playing a mean game or something like that. But some interesting statistics. I always get a kick out of this stuff. And who knows? If yeah, I'd be curious to see if anybody what everybody thinks of these stats. Do you fall into this? I'm not asking if you're a millennial or not, but if you play games at least once a week, if you use it as escapism, and if you find joy. I think we all find joy in games, except the sore losers. That might be a different story.
Some people don't.
Yeah. They don't even like when they win, but they're just less upset. Anyway, I think that's all that I had for my section. What did you have?
Oh, so my last one here, which I thought this was interesting. So we've talked about Gen Con. You know, it's the biggest board game convention here in the United States. We know that Essen is the biggest in Europe and the world, whatever. But looks like there is a former airline pilot who has spent the last decade building up a board game distribution business and chain of retailers in the Middle East. And he is hoping to create the region's equivalent of Gen Con with the launch of a Dubai-based convention this November. They've got more than 50 publishers that are will be exhibiting or represented at the first tabletop.me, while over 250 games will be available for teaching and play in a 7,300 square meter open gaming hall. So the Mark Azam is the organizer of this event. He's hoping to attract several thousand attendees from across the region to the debut event, with the majority expected to visit from the United Arab Emirates, large contingents from Saudi Arabia and Iran, and others from nearby Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain, a group of countries which boasts a population of nearly 150 million people. He said of the region, tabletop gaming culture has grown massively in the past 8 years, and we feel this is the right time. We can actually get a few thousand people into one location. So that's cool. I'm glad to see this. I hope that this goes well. I hope this is a very big success and that they will be able to continue to do this each and every year. That's, more people in the hobby, the better.
Yeah.
So unless the publishers cut how many copies they send to me and send over to other people, then we can't do that.
Yeah.
Print more.
Not allowed.
No.
You
But
can do
no, that's expanding the market's good.
Yeah. As long as you send a copy to Mark, you can do whatever else.
Exactly.
You can send them
just
anywhere.
Automatically send it to me, okay?
Yes.
Level 99, give me Spooktacular.
They will.
Okay.
They will.
We're good to go.
All right. Okay. With all that being said, let's get on to the main topic of gaming maturity. So I thought this would be an interesting thing to talk about because, it's easy to say that there's a whole bunch of different phases, right, that people go through when they get into the hobby. First, there's that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, oh my God, eyes wide open. This is so amazing. There's so many different experiences. Oh, I love it all. I want the card games. I want the miniatures. I want this. I want that. And you're just soaking it all in like a big sponge. And then, depending on the person, you might go into acquisition mode. I think this is something that you and I both have shared in our craziness, where, not only are you experiencing everything, but you're also acquiring it. And, you're sharing your hobby with everybody that you have around you and so forth. And then, there's I'll call it an evolution, right? There's an evolution of the person as they go through time, as they go through experiences, as they go through different groups and meeting different people. It's like you become all of these things that you have been surrounded by. This is pretty deep, isn't it? How about that? Look at me. I'm
Look
making all
at you.
this. I'm making all these amazing associations at 9 o'clock at night when I should be half asleep. Anyway, but there's this big evolution that you tend to go through, and I found some pretty good changes within myself, and I see some of that stuff coming out through you as well, where once you've been in the hobby long enough, and there's different kinds of participation in the hobby. There's a more passive participation that some people do. They kind of like go with the flow of whatever the game group does or their friends or whatnot. And then there's people that are pioneers, right? They're the ones that grab the bull by the horns. They're the ones that push games. They you know read BGG. They watch videos and podcasts. You're reading press releases. You're doom scrolling through Kickstarter to see what's out there, or worse yet, through GameFound. That's an expensive one. Stay away. But once you go through all that stuff, I think there's a big change that happens with a lot of people. Not necessarily everybody, but what I call it is gaming maturity, where, you've kind of got your stuff figured out, just like in life, right? Let's say when you're a mature man, which I'm not by any means. Maybe you are, Mark, but you're sort of settled in things. You like what you like. You're open to new experiences, but maybe you don't have that drive that you did before to like experience all this stuff because maybe you've been there and done that. And I wanted to kind of like have us take a quick look at what does that mean? Like, what defines that and what changes do we go through? Because I've seen that, like, the same stuff that I went through years ago, I see you not only going through it now, but you have as well. I mean, we've been down the same path. And, you know, I'll start with saying, after you've been in the hobby and you've matured as a gamer, your tastes have matured, wouldn't you say? Because you tend to sort of know some things that you like. And I'm not talking about snap judgments, like, for example, what I did with Spooktacular, right? By just, well, maybe it looks like a kiddie game or something like that, some Halloween thing. Yeah, I'm really not interested. I'm not talking about stuff like that, but you know that you like worker placement, for example, but you don't necessarily like a gambling game or an auction game. Do you know what I'm saying? So have you found that you've been more selective with like the styles or types of games, and not only like making just a snap judgment based on theme? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like even when you play it, you're like, yeah, this has like a blind bidding auction mechanic. Yeah, and I really don't enjoy those. Do you-
um, I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to think about. I don't. I don't know if I've gotten more selective. I I think that's still part of my. I'm trying to be more selective. I'm trying to not buy something that basically is a reskin of something else I already have. Um,
Like you don't need a gremlin version of Monopoly because
Well,
you've
yeah,
already got
that's
the
yeah.
dogs, the Seattle, the McDonald's one, Xbox one. Yeah.
It's like I don't like I bought Force Shuffle Dartmoor, but I didn't need to really buy it because I already have Force Shuffle and the 3 expansions that came with it. And it's like there's the selective thing is tough for me because I get into this. I have that collector mentality as well. And
Yeah.
so when I buy a
Acquisition. Yeah.
game, I feel like I got to have everything. You know, that's tough. That's really hard for me to fight that. Um, Villainous is one. I've got a million Villainous games. I finally was able to stop buying all the Villainous games and trying to be like, because I just wasn't playing them. I've got many editions that I haven't even touched. And now I'm actually I've actually listed them to purge. So I've reached out to my game group to see if anybody wants any of them. So I've been able to like, I don't need them. I'm not getting them played. I do enjoy Villainous series, but I don't need to have them all. I'm not getting them played. There's other games out there that my game group will introduce me to new things, different mechanics. And again, all the different villainesses, they're this essentially the same thing, just with a different quote character with some different abilities, but it's still the same thing. And so I know I really don't need all of those, and I'm just gonna flat out get rid of them. Um, I think I don't like games like poker. Like I'm not a fan of poker, but then someone brings The Gang, and I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Still
Hmm.
not a big fan of poker, and it's not something like that's not something I would put in my collection. So I guess I'm being a little bit more selective with those because it's like something that was popular or is popular or gets a lot of hits, but I like, yeah, I don't need it. Another one is like Merchants of Andromeda. I saw another video on that today, and it's just like it's a Dutch auction thing. Auction games are not big for me. I have a couple that I love, like Raw and Skyrise. I love those, and they're auction based games. So I try not to make like a try. I'm learning as I'm maturing to not just rule out everything. Like if someone brings Merchants of Andromeda, I'll play it, and maybe I'll enjoy it, but it's not when I first see it, and I'm like, oh, it's a Dutch auction. It's just does kind of, oh, I don't necessarily need this, you know.
Hmm.
So yes, some selectivity, but I still think it's very minimal for me at this point. Um,
But it's something.
it's something, but again, it's like especially with some of the games like Point City, Point Salad, Point Galaxy. Do I really need all of them?
Yes.
I need Point Salad and Point Galaxy. Yes. Point City, nah. I didn't care for that one as much. But there's other games that are like other games that are kind of like that. And why do I? So I'm trying to right now. I'm just doing a big purge, and I'm first hitting with my group. Is anybody interested in these? It's games I haven't even played yet. I've spent money on them. I haven't had a chance to play them. And part of this getting to this stage of the hobby, like I've said before, I've been introduced to things like Fresco, Puerto Rico, um, Great Western Trail, Tolkien, Galileo Galilei, SETI,
Hmm.
Teagarden, just those are some off the top of my head. Planet Unknown, Silos, Manhattan Project Energy Empire, Ahoy. These are things I want to get back to the table. I want to play it again. Ark Nova. Love that game. I want to play it more. But because I'm always got something new showing up, this will be like whatever's in here will be what I take like tomorrow night. Like, hey, I got this new game. and that's always happening. We're always playing something new, and I'm missing out on playing some games that I have found I really, really enjoy, that I want to play again, or I want to be able to get a little better at it.
Yeah.
So that I can, because there's playing it once or twice is fine, but you haven't, I think, and I don't know where the magic number is, but I don't have any game that I really know and that I'm like, I know when I play it, this is what I need to do, and here's what I'm gonna, and it's not that I have to have a plan and always do the same thing, but it's knowing how to react or how events will change you, but you know the game so well, where the abilities and your player actions and future things that could impact you, that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna plan for this, or I'm gonna do this. I don't get that. Like, Ark Nova is a huge game. I don't have the familiarity with it. Every time I'm sitting there to play it, I'm like, okay, I think I've played it 3 times, and there's so much. I'm like, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? What is, it's like you're playing it for the first time every time, because you've only played it a couple of times, or it's been so long in between plays. I'm trying now to be more selective in what I get, because I want to play the stuff I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a big list of stuff I have not touched. So am I a gamer if I'm not playing the games that I'm buying? I think I'm becoming more of a collector. Like, oh, I got 500 games. So
I
what?
think,
How many have you played? 4. It's like
I think that can coexist.
Yes, I do agree
okay,
with that.
Like, let's choose any hobby. People that are into movies, they have walls of DVDs.
Or video games. I've probably bought thousands of video games through the years.
How about people that enjoy reading books?
Yeah.
They have bookshelves filled with books.
But I bet,
right, of all kinds.
I bet they've read those books.
Maybe. Or maybe they got them on sale at Barnes in the clearance section.
But I buy a lot, and that's the thing I'm trying to scale back.
And it's evolution. It's definitely an evolution. And one thing that you mentioned about always playing the new games, there was a point when my son was little, when he would get put to bed, we would go to the dinner table, and it's like, okay, we got 2 hours where while he's napping we can play Ascension or something. And I was always wanting to bring the new game out, and then a foot got put down and said, hey, I can't learn a new game every single time. We need to play at least like 1 or 2 games that I know. And in some ways I appreciated that, because I got to know, for example, Ascension really well, Dominion really well. We still played other things. We still played new things for me to talk about, on the show and review and do videos for. But it was nice to go, okay, we'll play a game of Dominion, a game of Ascension, and then we'll play, I don't know, Kingdom Builder or something. I'm trying to think of appropriate games from back then. So maybe that's something that you could institute in your game group. It's a interesting take on things. Like, yeah, you can play like a simple game, then you got to play an old game that you guys have played before, and then bring out a new one. And, especially if it's the same game group, I'm sure they would appreciate playing the same old game once in a while, because they don't have to relearn it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you might not remember 100% of the rules, but at least you remember 60% probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're playing the things we're buying. Like,
yeah.
Everyone in my group, well, I would say the majority of the people, I don't know about everyone, but those that I become really good friends with have very large libraries. And, I know one guy and his wife, I swear they play games every day. They must, they're always, they play their games.
Nice.
and it just gets me. Like, they can pull some off the shelf, sit down, and they'll look at the rule book for just like 2 minutes. He's like, okay. And he just remembers. It's like, here's what we do. And, but they've got enough familiarity with it that they can sit down and look at it for, might have to do a refresh on the rules, but
Yep.
then they can explain it, and we play and have fun. And that's kind of, I look at all the games and I'm like, man, haven't played that ever, haven't played that, haven't played that. I spent a lot of money. I don't know why I bought that one, you know. And I wasn't going to crowdfund anything that went into 2026.
Too late.
I probably got 15 games already crowdfunded for next
Nice.
year. And considering another one, it's like, oh, come on. So at
And
some point, it just gets, I've got to be realistic and pare it down to be able to play the things that I really want to play. Because that, to me, that's kind of like what it's about. Like, I've done a couple of reviews. I don't give it a score. I just don't, because I find people like even on the Dice Tower, I've seen them, like, three people were, they'll, in one video, they're going to do a review, and there's three of them. And I think that's cool because you get different perspectives. But I've seen someone rate a game a 5, someone else is rating that same game a 9, so it's
Mhm.
very subjective
Oh,
to
sure.
the individual. So I just like to share, here's what I like, here's what I didn't like. And at the end of it, is it something I would recommend? Most of the stuff I'm going to review is going to be a yes, because it's something that I did enjoy. So if I didn't enjoy it, I don't really want to make a video of it and go, this game sucks,
Yeah, you should. Still, that's a whole different topic.
But again, it's and I try to be like, hey, if you like this type of thing, you might like this game. If you don't care for this type of, then you might want to steer away. I can't remember what it was. I did something recently, and I remember kind of saying that, kind of, here's for or and against. And because reviews are just too subjective. Everybody has different tastes, different likes. Some people love the Euros. Some people, only want to play those. Some like Ameritrash. Some, I think I like a bit of everything. I'm finding out I like Euros, which I didn't think I did. Um, I don't
Mhm.
really care for something like Catan. I've played it. I have it. Just, it's not for me,
Right.
But I do like Carcassonne and Dorf Romantic and, Le Havre and Fresco and, some of these others.
Kingdom
Kingdom
Builder.
Builder you
Yeah.
mentioned, just
Mhm.
love Alhambra.
It's a lot of Queen games there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, but
So
yeah, it's an ever evolving thing, and the selectivity I think happens, but it's at varying degrees and then it changes over time as well. It's not static or constant. And another thing that I think happens with gaming maturity, air quotes, is slowing down. So in the beginning, we're kind of like just gobbling it all up. Just gimme, 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 more, 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 more. And then I've found that I slowed down quite a bit. Like, even like, this is a big accomplishment for me. I think in some ways, going to the game store, I'd say more than half the time now I walk out with nothing. Where
I'm the same way. I
yeah,
used to go up the stairs, because you go in our game shop and then you go downstairs to the bar and gaming area. And every night I'd come up and I'd go to the right to go shopping. And almost every night I'd walk out with something. And I haven't bought anything in that store for actually a long time. I don't even go to the right anymore. I just come up and we leave, because it's
yeah,
like I've got so much. Now tomorrow, because of Dwellings of Eldervale, I'm going to do a little watching of some videos on whatever it is. I already forgot what it was called. Um, his other game, the newest ones, Andromeda, not Merchants. Um, anyways, I might pick that up tomorrow, but I'm gonna do a little, want to review and watch and see some gameplay, what it actually
Andromeda's
plays like.
Edge. Was that it?
That's it.
Edge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I might pick that up tomorrow, but you know, it'll be more of, okay, now I know I got an idea of how it plays because supposedly it kind of plays similar to Dwellings, and I liked that game, so maybe I'll pick this one up instead. So, but again, someone in my group has this.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to buy it.
Yeah, it's not a need. It's a want.
Because again, it comes down to, again, like we're talking about being selective. If I'm going to play this game, I'm going to play it with the person who already has it. You know, it's not like my family's going to play this. I'm not going to take Andromeda's Edge over to my mother's house, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to play with people who have played it and likely already have it. Galactic Cruise is another one. I got 2 people that have it. Why do I feel compelled to buy it? I haven't played it, but they were talking high praise about it. It's crowdfunding right now. There's like 67 hours left. And I keep looking at it, but I would want the all-in pledge. I'd want everything. I'd want the deluxe bits, and it's going to cost $250. I'm like, why spend the money when I can play this game anytime I want just by going, hey, let's get together and play? Because, again, if I have it, I'm going to call those same people to play that. It's not like I got another group that doesn't have it that's going to want to play it. So that's where I need to be more selective in what I'm spending my money on.
So what you're saying is, if I have a delicious hot piping Portillo's beef sandwich, you don't need to buy your own. Because I have mine.
That's not the same thing.
No. Okay. How about cost considerations? Like, sometimes I think we, like early on in the hobby, if you're full on part of the craziness, all this stuff goes out the window. I guess it depends on disposable income too. But one thing that I found is, unless there's something really interesting or special about the game, if it hits a certain price point, I'm like, no. And half the time, once I get past that initial, I'll say, impulse, and I say no, oftentimes, like, I don't even care afterwards. But just getting through that initial purchase impulse is that's tough.
Yes, it is. And the interesting thing when you talk about price, when I first joined, price was a consideration. I remember when I first started crowdfunding, I wouldn't crowdfund anything over $50. I'm like,
yeah,
you putting $100 down on something I won't get for 2 years? That's stupid. Well, now I'm putting down 250, or I've spent as much as 450. I think for my full Dice Throne Marvel with everything, miniatures, the missions.
I would say that's different though, because
but
you are a collector.
Never spent that kind of.
You're a collector of that game.
Yes, but I would never spend a lot of money, and I did a lot of like going to Goodwill or thrift stores, trying to build up the collection by seeing if you can find something that's cheap, that's still in good condition. And now I'm completely different. I'll be honest. Nemesis Retaliation came in, right? I've been waiting for it. $550 for one game.
Yeah.
That I've right now have only played once. So I played, now I will buy anything Nemesis related. I love that franchise. But like I mentioned earlier, Puerto Rico, I'm looking at it now. $240 for a game I'd never played. You know, I also have backed the Awakened Realms Agricola Special Edition. That's I don't know what that's going to be in US dollars. It's not showing it, but it was 175 pounds or euros, 175 euros. Yeah, so it's probably over 200.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, so again, Agricola. Why did I buy that? I never played the game, but it's like,
it's another really good game.
Yeah, and
you didn't go
it's
wrong with
Awakened
that.
Realms special edition. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, but now I'm just throwing money out there for games I'm going to wait on. I wouldn't spend $100 a year, 2 years ago for something I wasn't going to get for 2 years.
And you
Now
know
I'm like,
what's and you know what
$500, no big deal.
you know another thing that's funny is we used to talk about the video games. Xbox video games were $59. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This game is going to be $69. That's craziness. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Now $69 isn't even like a barrier. It's not even
And now they're what, 80,
cost
I
of
think?
entry.
So yeah,
Yeah,
cost
they're
considerations. Of course, things have changed. I mean, I do have disposable income, so and this is where I put it. I don't have any other hobbies, and you know, two of my kids are out of college. The other one's getting ready to leave for his schooling. This is what I got, right? So
and,
this is where I put my money. But
and
still, that's
you
a
know,
lot of money to put into a game that I might play one time and then I don't get back to Nemesis because, something else came in or something else comes in the next day. It's, I got a problem, Rob. I need to go to Gamers Anonymous.
you just need to send me all your games. End of problem. Just load them up into a container.
I can't send them to you because you have the next problem on the list. You don't have a place to store them.
Yeah. Now, what I was going to mention about cost considerations is that I tend to be more selective. Like, I actually backed the game today. I think I backed one, or I was going to say it's the first game this month, but I backed another one about a week ago. But today I backed the game for $3. Three. It was a print and play.
Now, if you cancel it and go back in 3 hours and redo it, then it'll be October.
Yeah, there you go.
Just cancel and redo it again in a couple hours, and it'll be October 1st for you.
But yeah, I tend to be a little more selective about stuff in particular because for a lot of games, I don't need the metal coins. I'm 50-50 on some of the deluxe pieces, but I'm not going to get the add-ons. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a base pledge and then for another,
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, well, I'm telling you how it can work. But
no.
if there's a base game and then like a deluxe, they always have the add-ons, the mats, this and that. I don't even look at that stuff. I'm fine unless a game is something really special to me, like Castles of Burgundy, for example. I love that game. And the production on Special Edition is so amazing that I got the Sundrop. I forget. It wasn't the super high one.
Yeah.
But it was like the mid-level one. And then when they did the reprint, I got the 3D tiles and something else. And I regret doing it. I'm like, I wish I didn't get these because, well, number one, they made the game a little worse to play. It's a lot easier to play with the tiles than the 3D, the acrylic ones. And in some cases, getting the upgraded pieces isn't worth it. And that kind of taught me sort of a lesson. So, for example, with Puerto Rico, I didn't get the high-end version. I got like the middle. I think Agricola was the same way. I got like the middle version. And I'm like, I'm fine not having all that extra stuff. Because I think once you do it a bunch of times, then you get to be more okay with that. Because, well, if you do get all that extra stuff, storage, which you had just mentioned, is kind of the next issue.
Yeah.
Where, if you get the super mega deluxe version, where are you going to put it? Because it's going to take, 3 times the space. because I gotta admit, the big boxes like Gloomhaven,
Yeah.
or even the Griffin games like On Mars and Speakeasy and all those, they just take up so much space and they're hard to stack. They usually have to go like on top or off on the side somewhere. And, you know, at some point you run out of shelf space and you run out of floor space and you run out of table space and you run out of closet space. And you don't ever want to put them in a garage or a basement. Just saying. Not that I've done it, but I just know that you don't want to because of humidity and flood.
Yeah.
That's how you turn a rainstorm into a very unhappy next morning.
Yes.
But I think storage is like the easy one. But, you know, as you mature, it does become an issue, I think, for a lot of people. And, you know, it depends. Some folks have a 5x5 Kallax, and that's their whole library. So as soon as you go one title beyond it, it's a problem. Some people have more shelves. You know, they'll have a similar issue, but it's just a scale thing, right?
Yeah.
Outside of storage, I think one big change that happens as you mature in gaming is that you get a lot more games under your belt, and that colors what's important to you.
Yeah.
So, for example, if let's say you play trick taking games all the time, if you see a new trick taking game, you're like, oh yeah, I've played this. This sort of reminds me of, I don't know,
Another one.
Tichu, Stickle, or something like that. You know, insert game here. And it's like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this. I sort of like that other one better. You know, so experience by having played games and having owned games definitely does affect like our gaming choices, like moving forward. And then also as part of experience, you get to know what you like you were just talking about how, you know, there's certain games that you tend to like and other things that you're fine with not playing, right?
Yeah.
Like I think what auction, like I really don't care for auctions too much. I mean, I'll play it, but if a game has an auction mechanic as like its primary thing, I'm like, not my thing. Um, and then also there's the what I call the been there, done that mentality, because there are a lot of games that are like repeats. You know, there's
Yeah.
games that are amazing, right? And then there's Me Too games where, you know, not so, I wouldn't say it's as prevalent in the board game space. It is,
I
but
think more so in
definitely,
the party games.
yeah,
There's a
party
lot more of the me been there, done
mobile,
that. Me
yeah,
too.
mobile
Yep.
game. Oh, there's like a million copies. Like as soon as there's one game that is popular,
Yep.
you know, it's like Clash Royale. Oh, then you got Royal Crash or Clash and Block Clash, Block Royale, as everybody has their own spin on it. But like, for example, let me ask you this. If there's a game that comes out that's very reminiscent of a game that you've played the heck out of, are you going to be interested in it? You know, because it's really like a rehash.
I think it depends if is it adding anything new? Is it
Yeah.
offering anything new?
What if it's not?
Then I don't think I would need it. If it's the same thing I already have, then I don't need to get it because I already have something that does that, fills that role.
Hmm.
But I think that's part of maturing too. Like right now, I'd be like, ooh, gotta have it. It's new, it's hot. Like everybody says it's the best thing ever, But well, I
Yeah.
already have, well, I think I'll take Harmonies, for example, or even Nature, those two games. And I could be wrong on this, but I kind of understood Harmonies. I kept hearing it kind of compared to Cascadia. And I really like
Yeah.
Cascadia. And when I
Can see
looked at
that.
Harmonies, I was like, I don't think that offers what, to me they didn't seem the same, or similar, but it's kind of what I heard or the impression I was getting. And I was like, no, I really like Cascadia, so I never picked the other one up. And then what was the other one I just said? Harmonies and Nature. I remember I looked at that at Gen Con, and it's like, oh, we've taken this other game and broken it down into all these different modules. So it's like they got a very base game, and then if you want to add this, you want to add this. So you're still buying all this stuff that used to be in one big box under a different name. Now it's renamed but it's still like this wildlife type of game. And I'm like, I got Arc Nova if I want to. I've got Cascadia if I want to play animal games. I've got a million different things. Do I really need another large game? Because I'm going to want it all. I'm going to need all the boxes, and they got more modules coming. And I'm like, nope, not going to do it. And I have not, and I don't regret it because again, I can only play one board game at a time. I'm trying to remember that. I can play only one at a time. And some of these games that I want to play are going to take a little bit of time to play. So it doesn't matter how many I have. I'm trying to, like, I had this whole acquisition thing and I was excited to get all this new stuff and I got all these different types of games. And now I'm looking at, like, I got The Mandalorian over here. I've not played through that. And now I've got the sequel to it and I haven't even touched it. It's like I really kind of want to go back and sit there and play through that. I've got so many games I want to play, and I'm never going to get to them because I keep buying something. And as
Well,
I keep working on my list of unplayed games, I'll end up adding more to it than I take off. And it's like,
right.
oh,
And this brings in the next thing of time. We have finite time
and
because of
it's not even our time too, because unless you're a solo player, you got to have other people to play.
yeah, you got to have
So
schedules that all align. Then there's the whole holiday thing, right? And work schedules, family schedules, all the stuff that has to align.
yeah,
And like you said, you can only play one thing at a time. So unless you can like
yeah.
split yourself in the middle, clone
I need to clone
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
Okay, you work on Mandalorian, you work on Arc Nova, you work on Nature. Go.
Yeah.
Upload the videos.
Yeah.
No, but it's
Yeah, there's so many different aspects to this hobby, and it's been interesting because, like, other things that we've talked about, video games, movies, um, reading, all three of those, just as examples, they're not they're not as expensive. You
depends
can
on where
down.
you see your movies.
Well, if you're buying your movies, they cost like $20, right? Sometimes they're 12. If you're doing it digitally,
Movie,
you
theater,
to
popcorn, drink, times 4 kids.
okay. If I buy Andromeda's Edge tomorrow, I'll spend a lot more than what it would cost me to take 4 kids to see a movie with all the food and snacks. So,
Okay.
so again, yeah, it depends on the games, but
Yeah.
our hobby gets to be very expensive. And like a movie, I could have, a movie. If okay, I want to watch this movie again. Well, that's max 2 hours of time, unless you're watching something that But most games are an hour and a half to 2 hours, right?
Mhm.
Movies, so a book. You're reading a book at a time, and when you're into it, you read it and you're in that world until it's done, and then you move on to another book. Like, movies you can go back to, but it's not, you know, and often people do, but it's not, you can have like, oh, I've seen it and I move on. I want to watch something else different. Board games are different. Music is, well, you're always playing music. I don't think music is a hobby, but what did I say? Books. Oh, video games. Video games, again, you can do it by yourself.
Mhm.
Board gaming is a social hobby,
Right.
unless you're into solo gaming. But it is a social thing. So it takes a lot. It takes other people, like you said, coordinating schedules and times. And not only all of that, but you have to find people who want to play the same game you want to play. My group is kind of, they're making jokes like, we'll keep pushing Mark. They said something about it last night.
They're
Like, see,
pushers.
we're pushing Mark into these higher, meatier games. And I appreciate that, because they're really, really good. They don't give me crap when I screw up, or they're always like, well, you can go back and fix that.
That's my
Go back and
job,
change it if you
by
want.
the
And I'm
way.
like, no. And I'm like, no, because I that's how I learn. I made the mistake. That's okay. Because I'm especially my first game, I'm in it to learn, not to win. Now I did win yesterday on my first play. It happens sometimes, but you know, that's not the point. The point is, can I learn the game? And I want to play, because I don't want to be like, oh, I won. Yeah, but they allowed me to go back and correct some mistakes that I had made when I probably should have been paying attention better. Or, and it's tough when you're learning, because there's so many things you're trying to keep straight and you do something wrong often. But, I don't mind that they're pushing me, because I'm getting into more things and I'm enjoying it, and there's like no judgment from them. But some people that might be hardcore, they don't want you slowing them down. They're like, oh, come on, dude, just make a turn. So there's a lot of other aspects to that, and that's, I think, a part of this. What's weird about this hobby is that it's not just a single thing. You can go out and fly an RC plane by yourself. You can do a drone by yourself. You can do photography by yourself. A lot of hobbies can be done by yourself. This one can be, but how many people go out and to do photography in a group? I mean, it
Yeah.
probably does happen, or you need certain shots, but a photographer is usually by themselves, unless they're going to take school pictures and they need all the people with them to help out. But you know what I'm saying? As a hobby, that's as a job. So there's all those additional complications. And then you got your friends that are like, oh, this game is great. And then I'm like, what? Ooh, I got to be part of the group. I got to get that game too. I kind of want to be one of the cool kids.
Mhm.
No, I haven't matured, Rob. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day.
Hey, I'm right there with you. One thing I just wanted to ask you, as I was kind of thinking about this, was having gotten into the hobby, I think, has made a huge impact on your life in many ways. And would you say that has been a change for the better, or neutral, or what? Because I'm just looking at it from the aspect of, you went from, we spent years in video games, right? Which is sort of solo-ish activity, right? While you can talk to people online, that's a whole different thing. But then that switched from your primary activity, from being like, playing in your room on your TV, to now opening up this whole world, going to conventions, going to game groups, making new friends like all over your area. Some people that are going to be potentially lifelong friends, right? If they're
Yeah.
worthy enough, like I am. Hopefully I still am. But you know what I mean? Do you think it's changed your life at all? Because, some hobbies just kind of do a brief flash. Others, they rock your world. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I think board gaming hobby has been a huge positive impact in every way except for my wallet.
Fair enough.
um,
I get it.
So I remember when I first was getting into this, I had that what is it called? X-Wing?
Yep.
Star Wars X-Wing, the miniature game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I've had this game. I want to go. And there was a game store here to the south of me that hosts an X-Wing night. And I'm not lying, man. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to
went with your son, right?
Learn how to play. Huh?
I think you went with one of your sons, right?
No, it was just me.
Okay.
It was just me. And it took a lot for me to just, okay, I'm going to do this, right? Had that internal struggle.
Yeah.
I was driving there, and in my mind, my head was going, screaming, run, go away, go back home, don't do this. Like why? Like, there was just this like anxiety about going into a room of people I don't know, because I'm very, I don't think I'm shy.
You're a game nerd.
But I am not, you would say I'm not quiet either, but you've known me forever. I'm very loud and outgoing with people I know where I'm comfortable. When I'm around people where I'm not, I'm very quiet. I don't say anything. I'm just,
Sure.
I would call what I used to say one of the, I was like a woodwork person, right? You wouldn't notice me in a room because I was part of the woodwork. Yeah. So I fought through that. I got into the store, and the lady that owns the store, she was super nice, almost overly, like almost left because she was too nice, right?
Oh, wow.
And, but, the people were there, and it was like, I was just kind of standing around, and I wanted to learn, but I'm like, no, all these people here, they're here to play. No one's going to teach me, and people are like, hey, you here to play? And I'm like, I'm just going to watch. I don't know how, I'm just interested, but I'm going to watch. And several people are like, well, we'll show you how to play. I'm like, no, I just kind of, and the whole time I'm standing in the store, dude, I'm like just shaking like inside. I'm like having this weird, I just want to run because I was out of my element.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then finally the owners of she kind of came over and she's like, you just need to get in the game. Here, sit down. I got some ships you can have. So I'm like, fine, okay. And so I sat down and I played, and they taught me how to play. And I went back the next week and played again. And I kind of kept going back. And so it really helped me to then, what I did was like, you know what? I like the idea of X-Wing. I'm not really, for some reason, I wasn't grasping all the aspects of it. It was just something that was like, I couldn't seem to keep it straight, like what you were doing and when things would come out, and you'd pull these little pieces out to represent stuff. For some reason, I couldn't get it straight in my head. It was a little overwhelming, I think, for where I was in gaming at the time. But I was like really proud that I'm like, I beat this internal struggle. I got out of and I'm very introverted, and I got to go out. And so for someone who's kind of an introvert by nature, to go out into public with people you don't know and have to introduce yourself and join in on an activity was tough. And I did it. And so then it allowed me to go, okay, I want to play other games. I want to play like board games, not like this miniature game. And I was trying to find gaming groups that maybe did that. Well, I couldn't find one. So I created a group, and people joined it. And I'm like, we're going to meet up at this store over here. And well, it turns out I went there, and some people showed up that I didn't know, but I'm like, hi, I'm Mark. And well, then there was another group that happened to be meeting the same night. And so I think there was just like a couple of us that showed up for my group. And so we just kind of merged with these other people. And now I'm the runner of that group. The person that was running it was like, kind of like, hey, I'm never here. And I need to just hand this over, or I'm going to have to shut it down. And I was like, oh, I'll take it over. I'm like, I'm here every week. So now I'm managing this group. And now it's like people come in and I'm looking for them. If they sign up new, I look at their picture. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep my eye out for this person. And I've done it. I'm like, hey, are you, Billy Bob? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that come on over. This is the group you're looking for. Where I would never do that before. I would
Yeah.
just be like, I think there's someone looking for us, but I'm not going to say anything, like,
Don't make
and
eye
now I'm like,
contact. Yeah.
yeah, don't make eye contact, and now I'm like, hey, I'm Mark, welcome to the group type it. And now I have some friends who really love this hobby, and I get to play games with them all the time, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like, yes.
No, and the cool thing is not only do you do the activity, but you hang out with them, you eat with them, you talk with them, you get to know with them, or you get to
Yep.
know them, and that's priceless. And especially
Yeah.
if they're cool people, that's something that doesn't necessarily, it can translate to things outside of that
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where
as
like
well.
they invited me to go to this escape room. It's like it's still gaming, but
Yeah.
it's different. It's an activity, and it's we're not sitting down. We're going to some other place. They're inviting me along to go do that. I'm like, this is cool. It's like, yes, now it's a friendship. It has
Yeah.
developed into. I call it my gaming group, but many of those people that are in that group are now friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's just nice that board gaming hobby has been such a great positive impact on my life.
And so now I'm going to take it circle around back to what we were talking before. This is part of the maturity as well, where it's not only just an activity, but it's also more than that.
It's a lifestyle.
Sure. Yeah. And it's a thing that just, especially now that we're older and our kids are older and doing their own thing, it's like, what are we going to do? Just freaking rot in the chair like some people watching TV or something like that? Ugh.
No, now we're gonna rot in the chair as we're playing Twilight Struggle for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And by the way, why I can't do this?
That's
Right
difficult.
there, right there.
Oh, I
Twilight Struggle.
can't make it out.
That's Twilight Struggle. Right where my finger's at. That's it. Ooh, whoops! I can't even go up or down.
Zoomify.
It's right next to Halo.
It's all pixelated. I can't make it out.
That's Twilight Struggle.
Okay. I watched your unboxing of it.
Nice.
I know.
But the best part of gaming, Rob, I got to bring one more thing, and then I'm done. The best part of this board game hobby is I now get to see my best friend twice a year playing board games.
Yes. No, 3 times. No. Yeah, twice.
Gen Con and then this board game LifeCon.
Well, once all the kids fly the coop, then who knows? It could be even more.
Yeah. Dad, you coming to visit? Nope, going to see Rob.
We can. We're not WFH. We're WFA. Work from anywhere. Wherever there's a microphone and internet connection. Yeah. But anyway.
All right.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So, do you have anything else you wanted to add about maturing in the hobby? I know
we've run over 2 hours. I think it's time to. It's late for you. And
yes. Yeah.
I still got to edit.
Yeah.
And make another video.
Ooh. But it's also 2 hours earlier, so
that's true.
You're in the middle of the evening. Anyway, all right. So hope you guys enjoyed this long conversation, but I think we had a great time making this video for you guys. So with that being said, I'm Rob. Catch you all in 2 weeks with episode 107? This is 106. Yep. Yeah, 107.
And I am Mark, and we will see you at the table.